to help you find the right one for your needs. To see the most up-to-date prices and find out more information about these laptops, you can check out the links in the description below. Before we start, I have a question for you guys. Which laptop are you using right now, and what is your opinion on it? Let me know in the comments. Number 5. HP Envy X360. Best for the money. This one has a beautiful all-metal design with thin screen bezels, has a great audio quality, a long-lasting battery life, and many other amazing features that'll make you take a look at it. Plus, it's not as pricey as other premium laptops. As for the HP Envy X360's 13-inch touchscreen, it's about as good as you could reasonably expect at this price point. Thanks to IPS technology, colors are accurate, and the viewing angles of the panel itself are excellent. It has an AMD 6-core Ryzen 5 4500U, it has a 32GB RAM and 1TB SSD. The 2021 HP Envy X360 sports Bang & Olufsen tuned speakers on either side of the keyboard deck instead of the top as in the 2020 version. Another minor change in this year's iteration is that both the Intel and AMD variants offer a similar placement of ports on either side. HP said that the touchpad area is now 19% larger compared to the previous generation and is properly centered. The average battery life of this laptop can last up to 11 hours, which is great. It's a great laptop overall, it has many great features that'll help you finish your everyday tasks without a problem. If you decided to buy a laptop, you should check this one out and see if it's the laptop you were looking for. Number 4. HP Spectre X360. Best 2-in-1 laptop. Straight out of the box, it's clear that the HP Spectre X360 is a high-quality piece of hardware. The brushed metal finish means the whole laptop feels robust, and the same build quality extends to the namesake 360-degree hinge that enables it to swap between laptop and tablet modes. Power buttons are typically found somewhere on the top portion of the keyboard deck or somewhere on the side, but on the Spectre X360 13, the power button is camouflaged on the left beveled edge of the HP convertible. The Spectre X360 sports a 13.3-inch AMOLED display that'll take your breath away. The panel features VESA-certified True Black HDR, which is a fancy way of saying that the display offers richer shades of black, which increases contrast for better visual vibrancy. When it comes to the performance, this beast is packed with 8th generation Intel Core i7-8565U and NVIDIA GeForce MX 150, so pairing one with a solid 16GB high-speed RAM means that the HP Spectre X360 chews up everyday work tasks with ease. The battery life is still good. Standard use will see it last all workday, around 10 hours without needing to charge. With good battery life and the help of Windows 10's tablet mode, this device is as flexible as they come. Number 3. MacBook Air M1. Best for most people. The MacBook Air is the first of two new laptops with Apple's first-of-its-kind own-brand M1 processor, which makes for a giant leap in performance and battery life. From the outside, almost nothing about the M1 MacBook Air has changed since the one from April. They match in size and weight, number of ports, microphones, and speakers. The 13.3-inch screen supports the wider DCI-P3 color space, a feature hitherto reserved for the more expensive MacBook Pro. The inside of the Air is almost exactly the same as its predecessor too, apart from one very important part, the processor, or more accurately, the System on a Chip or SoC, which combines processor, graphics, and RAM all in one package. The new M1 replaces the Intel Core i3, i5, or i7 of its predecessor. In the cheapest MacBook Air as tested, it has an 8-core processor, CPU, and a 7-core graphics processor, or GPU, with 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, but an 8-core GPU option is available. The M1 has 4 high-performance CPU cores that handle the demanding stuff such as crunching data and editing photos, while 4 high-efficiency CPU cores handle lightweight tasks such as sending emails. Apple declared its M1 chip would enable all-day battery life, and the company has hit that mark. This MacBook Air really is one of the best laptops in the market, without a doubt. Number 2. MacBook Pro M1. Best runner-up. The MacBook Pro with M1 delivers a killer combo of blazing performance and epic battery life, even if the design is too familiar. The MacBook Pro, traditionally equipped with the lineup's beefiest processor and capable of handling intense professional tasks, has up to now been Apple's top-tier laptop offering. but its status is somewhat in limbo thanks to a recent 13-inch Pro refresh featuring the company's M1 chip, a processor that just so happens to also be running under the hood of the company's latest Air. It certainly looks and feels identical to previous MacBook Pro 13-inch models, so anyone hoping for a radical new look to match the radical new hardware within is going to be disappointed. The keyboard is the same Magic Keyboard as the one introduced with the MacBook Pro 13-inch from earlier this year. This was a welcome change at the time as it replaced the controversial butterfly switch keyboard, which was often prone to reliability problems. Normally, powerful laptops have to make do with short battery lives, but the MacBook Pro 13-inch M1 2020 manages to balance performance with a battery life that can last well beyond the whole workday, which makes this beast one of the best productivity laptops. Number 1. LG Gram 17Z90p. Best overall. This laptop also comes equipped with amazing performance specifications for productivity, the best battery life in its class, and a great value for its price. Let's take a closer look. Let's first talk about the build quality of the LG Gram 17Z90p. This laptop is built by using a specialized metal alloy made out of nanocarbon and magnesium, making it extremely light at just 2.9 pounds, which is featherweight for its size. I should also mention that the design is very tasteful and will look good on the desk. There are plenty of ports here, as it's equipped with an HDMI, microSD, 3 USB 3.0 ports, a USB Type-C port, and a headphone jack. And also one of its strongest features is its 17-inch screen. In terms of performance, it's not top of the class, but it has plenty going on to make you happy. For example, it's packed with an Intel Evo with 11th generation Core i7-1165G7 CPU, 16GB of RAM and 1TB of SSD for storage, which translates into excellent performance for productivity and daily tasks. The biggest selling point of this laptop, though, is the amazing battery life. During my tests, it lasted about 12 hours, which is astounding and better than anything out there. A must consider. Buying guide. Display. The more pixels you have, the more content you can fit on screen and the sharper it'll look. Sadly, some budget laptops still have 1366 by 768 displays, and so do a few business laptops. But if you can afford it, we recommend paying extra for a panel that runs at 1920 by 1080, also known as Full HD or 1080p. Higher-end laptops have screens that are 2560 by 1600, 3200 by 1800, or even 3840 by 2160 or 4K, which all look sharp but consume more power, lowering your battery life. Budget. You probably know that different brands deliver different quality with their laptops, and if you stick with the big-name brands, you're assured to get a good laptop that'll also get the job done. However, your budget will also be a significant factor while buying a new laptop. For that reason, try to find a balance between quality and price, but still, don't sacrifice on the specs and features you need. It's better to wait a while to get a better laptop than to buy the first laptop you can afford. Build quality. It may seem obvious, but build quality is very important in an Ultrabook. Some manufacturers try to cut corners and weight by adding more plastic to the device, while others go for aluminium and fiber-inspired builds. The rule of thumb in these cases is the less plastic, the longer the Ultrabook is likely to last. Also, pay attention to the weight. Anything that weighs over 1.75 kilograms is getting dangerously close to the traditional notebook territory. Battery life. If you plan to spend any time away from an outlet, even if that time is spent sitting on a bed or couch at home, look for a laptop that offers more than 8 hours of battery life. Because they require so much power, gaming laptops are an exception to this rule.